In a previous video, we looked at why you should buy an uncompleted building over buying land and starting a new building project or buying an already completed building. There were many comments. If you missed that video, I'm going to put a link in the description so that when you complete this video, you can check that one out. Now, in today's video, we are going to look at all the reasons why you should not buy an uncompleted building from my personal experience, from the experience of my friends, from the comments that you guys shared, and also from like a technical perspective. Coming up next. Sometimes it will just be better for you to rent and not even build. Sometimes it will be better for you to buy land and build from scratch. And sometimes it will be better for you to buy a fully completed building. So the first reason is you might have to pay double bills if you buy an uncompleted building, especially if you took like a mortgage facility to purchase the uncompleted building and you don't have a place to live for free, right? Let's say you are renting, you took mortgage of let's say 200,000 Ghana cedis to purchase an uncompleted building because that's what your salary entitles you to. Your salary cannot let you buy a house for, you know, what's being sold in town today, like 500,000, 1 million Ghana cedis, etc. Your salary entitles you to just 200,000 cedis. So when you look at the market, the only thing you can buy is an uncompleted building. Now you are currently living at a place where you're also paying rent, and then you took a mortgage to purchase an uncompleted building. As you are servicing your mortgage monthly, you are also paying your monthly rent. So you'll be paying double bills. And apart from that, you would also need money to complete the renovation and the finishing of your uncompleted project. So you are going to find yourself in a position where you are very, tight. Like there's so much pressure on you. You are going to be broke essentially. So that for me is the number one reason why you should not buy an uncompleted building, especially if you don't have a place to live for free. Secondly, renovating is very expensive, especially for people who are like purchasing their first time houses and stuff like that. There's a lot that you may not know, right? And so there's a lot that you will not look out for when you are buying the land. And once you start the renovation process, you notice you have so much to pay. The cost you may incur will include land surveys, engineering reports, building permits, disposal fees, architectural drawings, and more. Also, the building may not be in the exact design that you wanted. So let me use my own example. The building I purchased from my friend, right, didn't have toilet facilities and bathrooms inside all the bedrooms. Now, for me, I'm someone who believes that every bedroom should have its own toilet and bathroom, right? So I had to do a lot of breaking of walls, creating new rooms for the toilet and bathroom for all the bedrooms, right? And that was super expensive because as you break, even breaking is expensive, right? And then you need to purchase materials. You need to purchase sand, cement, stones, iron rods, all these, and then you pay expensive labor costs just so you can get toilets and bathrooms. Also, there was no staircase within the building, though the plan was for like a story building. The person wanted to have the staircase outside so that he can kind of like rent the ground floor and then live on the top floor, right? So that there's no like interaction between those living, like his tenants, and then himself and his family. So it might not be according to your taste, right? You might find certain challenges here and there that might require you to make certain changes to the existing structure. Another example is the kind of windows that the person had installed weren't the type of windows that we wanted. He had the louver blade kind of windows, and we wanted more secure burglar proofs and sliding windows and stuff like that. So it cost us a lot of money to do those kind of renovations, a lot of money, right? Over 10,000 Ghana cedis just for the windows. Then the doors, I had to change all the doors as well, right? So renovation work for an uncompleted building is very expensive. The tiles he had already used for the bathroom, and I needed to change all those, right? So it costs quite a lot of money. I'm saying this so that you are aware before you take that decision. Now, thirdly, if you move in immediately because like you don't want to renew your rent or you don't have money to renew your rent, right? You might find yourself living in a construction site essentially because there will be construction works going on, there will be renovation works going on. If it was just the ground floor which was completed and you want to, add another story to it, you'll be hearing lots of noise. And imagine you're someone who works from home, like you work remotely, and there's carpentry noises, there's mason, you can't have the peace of mind. It's also like a risk for if you have little kids around, there are blocks flying around, like so many things that you need to be aware of, right? So that's another reason why you may not want to buy an uncompleted building. Also, you may not get the style of building that you want, because if you were building from scratch, then you can draw up your own plans. You have your dream home in mind, and so you build according to your specifications. But for an uncompleted building, it's like you don't have much of a choice. What you bought is what you got, right? So you may not get the style that you want, and if you want to break it and change it into your own kind of style, like I said, it's super expensive. Now, the next reason is that sometimes you cannot tell the quality of the foundation that was used. For example, if the constructor didn't take videos of the building process and all that, you can't tell. Someone sent me an email and showed me videos of like the entire construction process for the foundation, and the foundation looked good. The person is selling their uncompleted building. They want me to help them sell. I would advertise it in an upcoming video. And hey, if you want me to advertise your services, your buildings, etc., send us an email, link in the description below. Hey, there are two things I would want you to do for me if you watched this far. First of all, I want you to subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed, and two, press like on this video so it lets me know that you enjoyed the video and encourages me to do more. And also leave a comment below on your experiences, if you've ever bought an uncompleted building, or which you would prefer, to buy land and build, or to buy a completed house, or to buy an uncompleted building, in the comments below. Now let's proceed to the rest of the points. So you may not know the quality of the materials, the blocks, the cement, the iron rods, the foundation of the building, right? You don't know if it will leak in future, if it will collapse, etc. There are many comments that we are going to read from what you guys said, so that everybody can learn from it. Abdul J says, my only issue with this is that I don't know the strength of the foundation, the strength of the blocks, etc. It might be useful to do a video on the checks we can make before buying an uncompleted building. It is definitely an interesting idea. I agree with you completely, Abdul. Stay tuned for that video. But then the same argument can be said for buying even a completed building, right? Because though the completed building looks nicer with the tiles and the roofing and the lighting and the decor and all that, you still don't know the quality of the foundation, right? So then I'm sure people who kept making those arguments about not knowing the quality of materials, not knowing the quality of the foundation, are people who are more inclined to purchase land and build. Let me know if you are within that, category of people. Next, you may not know the real reason why the person is selling the land. Similar to people who are selling like second-hand cars that they have bought and driven for some time, and they want to sell it. You don't really know, and sometimes you need to ask a lot of questions to try and find out the real reason why the person is selling the car. Some people sell their cars because maybe they want to buy a new one and they need money to add to clear the duties and all those. Some people also sell their cars because their cars are giving them problems, right? And the cost of maintenance of the car and everything is overwhelming them. So they want to transfer the risk to somebody else. The same can apply to land. Somebody might want to sell off their land because, did I say land? Their uncompleted building, because it's giving them problems, right? There might be litigation issues ongoing. You may not see it written on the property when you go that there's a court case or contempt of court or court injunction. So the person might want to sell it off and transfer the risk and run away. Or there might be land guard issues in the area, right? Or other threats in the area that you won't see when you go to inspect the building, right? So some of these things, you need to ask certain pertinent questions and try and drill deep down to find out why the person is selling off the uncompleted building. In my case, my friend had run out of cash and he had other projects. He's an entrepreneur. And so he needed funds to move into his other businesses. And building is a project or a process that, we put in money, it never comes back. So he had invested heavily in the building project. The quality of the foundation was good. The iron rods he was using was top notch, everything. But he had run out of cash. And so he needed to just sell it off. So I was able to get a good deal of it. And if you get those kind of uncompleted buildings, I mean, you've made it, right? It's a really good, sweet deal. Others may want to sell off their uncompleted buildings because maybe they initially planned to build, move in with their families, but they got like a immigration visa to Canada, to USA, to Europe, etc. And they are moving with their entire family, and they don't want to come back to this Ghana with high inflation rates and the exchange rate being what it is and all the nonsense within the political atmosphere which is happening in Ghana. So they may just want to sell it off and leave, right? So those ones too, you might get certain good deals. So the same way people sell off their cars for various reasons are the same ways people may want to sell off their uncompleted buildings. So you need to ask the right questions. You need to get the right people to inspect it. And we'll go more into this in the third part of this trilogy, where we are going to talk about everything you need to look out for, every question you need to ask before you purchase an uncompleted building. If you still haven't subscribed, subscribe now, turn on all notifications, leave a comment below so I know you enjoyed this video, and thanks, Bibre.